In this video, we're going to work on guess and check questions. Suppose I tell you that I've got a total of 10 ducks and cows. Is that useful information? Well, the only thing I know is for sure that we have 10 animals altogether. What you don't know is whether I have 1 duck and 9 cows, 2 ducks and 8 cows, 3 ducks and 7 cows, and so on and so forth. The only thing I know is that the total has to add up to 10. But in terms of how many of each animal we have no idea. But is there a way of being sure, of confirming exactly the number of animals for each type? Yes, there is. Suppose on top of telling you that there are a total of 10 animals altogether, I tell you that there are a total of 28 animal licks. Now, this is very, very important for me to find out exactly how many ducks and cows, because I can now start the process of guessing and checking. Suppose I guess there is 1 duck, so that's 2 licks. 9 cows, that's 4 licks each. That's 38 licks. Having guessed and checked, I determined that this is wrong. I do not have 1 duck and 9 cows. Okay, well, that's too many licks, isn't it? I'm looking for 28, I got 38. So I'm going to reduce the number of cows. Okay, reduce by 1, but make sure you increase the number of ducks by 1. Why? Because we want to have a total of 10 animals still. And the total is 36. We're getting closer. Reduce, getting closer, reduce, getting closer. Repeat this process of guessing and checking, and eventually you'll get to this combination right here that gives us 28 licks. And this combination tells me that I've got an exact number of 6 ducks and 4 cows. So this is the process of guessing and checking and verifying that in the end you have the correct information that's given to you. First question, there are 40 pieces of $2 and $10 notes. Her total savings is $168. How many pieces of $2 notes does Sammy have? So the first step is to draw this table here. Number of $2 notes, the amount. Number of $10 notes, the amount. And take note that the total savings must add up to 168. Now the first step is, don't forget, we are looking for a total of 40 pieces. So I'm just going to start by guessing that there are 30 $2 notes and 10 $10 notes. See? Total of 40. What that means is the value of $2 notes will be 60 and 100. Add them up, you get a total of 168. That's too little. We are looking for 168. This is 160. Now, we need more money, don't we, to get up to 168? So when we need more money, look at this. This is the note with the larger value. So we should increase the number of $10 notes. So I'm going to increase this by 1. But to maintain a total of 40, I have to decrease this by 1. So make this 29. And what do you know? This 60 will decrease by $2 because I'm removing 1 $2 note, which means 60 minus 2, that's $58 worth of value. I'm adding 1 $10 note, so I'm going to add $10 in value. Sum them up and voila, you actually have $168 confirmed over here. Now, the question is asking how many $2 notes we have. That's 29 right here. There are some hamsters, that's 4 legs each, and birds, 2 legs each, on sale in the pet shop. These animals have a total of 50 heads. Hang on, is that another way of telling us that we have 50 animals altogether? Because each hamster and each bird has 1 head, right? So that's 50 animals here, and a total of 134 legs. How many birds are there? So we'll start off with the table again. Hamsters, 4 legs each. These are hamster legs. Birds, 2 legs each. These are birds' legs, and a total of 134. So let's start a guess, shall we? Making sure that the total is 50. So this is 20, this is 30. Find the number of legs for each animal, add them up, and you get 140. In this case, we've got too many legs. We are looking for 134, we got 140. So we should decrease the number of legs, which means look at the animal with more legs here. Let's decrease this by 1, shall we? But don't forget, we have to maintain a total of 50, so I need to add 1 to 30. Alright, so if you subtract 1 hamster, you subtract 4 legs. If you add 1 bird, you add 2 legs. And the result is 138. Still too big, but at least we're getting closer to 134. Now here's one thing to take note. The decrease is 2 legs overall. Now if you do it again, you're going to get a decrease of 2, you'll get 136. Do it again, and you will get 134. So notice I skipped 18. And went straight to 17. So here, how many birds are there in total? From guess and check, it's 33. Question 3, there are 24 6-wheeled trucks and motorcycles. That's 2 wheels each. Total of 100 wheels. How many 6-wheeled trucks are there? So start off with the diagram again, the table. The truck, 6 wheels, motorcycles, 2 wheels each, and then make a guess, okay? Total has to add up to 24, so 10 and 14. That's too few wheels. Let's add more wheels, add more trucks for more wheels. So add 1, we get an increase of 4 wheels. Add another one, okay, you get 96. Add another one, you get 100. Or you can simply skip and go straight to adding 8. How many 6-wheel trucks are there? There are a total of 13. Guri wants to make some 3-ring files and 4-ring files with the materials he has. He wants to make 30 files with 104 rings. So the table is going to look like this. Each 3-ring file will have 3 rings, 4-ring file, 4 rings. There are 104 rings in total. So let's make a guess. Okay, 20 and 10 to form a total of 30. We get 100. That's too few. So I'm going to increase the number of 4-ring files. I need more rings here. So I'm going to increase by 1 and decrease the 3-ring files by 1. And I realize that there's an increase of 1, which is closer to 104. If I do this thing again, whereby I increase by 1, can you predict what the total will be? 102. Do it again, 103. Do it again, 104. That is slow, but you'll get there eventually. So there you go. How many of each type did he make? Well, looking at this, 16 3-ring files and 14 4-ring files. John received 8 coins with a total value of $2. The coins are a mixture of $1, 20 cent, and 10 cent coins. Be careful, we want to use the same unit. So convert everything to dollars or cents. Okay, what I do is to convert the dollars to cents. So instead of $2, I'm going to use 200 cents. And instead of $1, I'm going to use 100 cents. Now, I need 8 coins, yeah? So let's start. So it's a bit tricky. I'm going to start with one $1 coin. That's 100 cents worth of value. Okay, now I have to have a total of 8. So I've got 7 to play with, right? I've got 1 coin accounted for. I have to account for another 7. So I'm going to guess 4 and 3. So this adds up to 210 cents. I'm looking for 200 cents. So this is too much. So I should therefore decrease the number of 20 cent coins. So I'm going to assume one $1 coin still. I'm going to decrease this by 1 and increase this by 1. And what do you know? I get exactly 200 cents. So in this case, how many 20 cent coins do you receive? That's 3. There are 180 cows, 4-legged animal, and ducks, 2-legged animal. The total is 600 legs. So again, we're going to start off with the diagram. Cows, 4 each, ducks, 2 each, total 600. We need 180 animals, so I'm going to guess 180. So that's 560. Too few legs, I need more. So I'm going to increase the number of cows. Let's have 101. Okay, so what that means is when I add 1 cow, I need to decrease 1 duck. And I notice that the total increased by 2. So for every cow I add, the total legs increase by 2. So if I do it again, I'm going to get 564, 566, 568, and eventually I'm going to get to 600. So does it make sense that I'm going to guess how many 2s do I need to get to 600? Okay, so let's go through this process. From 562, which is here, to 600, that is 38. Now, how many 2s is that? Because I'm going to go like this, right? Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. How many 2s are there to form 38? That's 19. In other words, I'm going to increase by 2 19 times, which means I have to increase by 1 19 times as well. See that? And therefore, I do not have to go through a long process of guessing and guessing and guessing. So in this case, I'm going to add 19 to 101. That's 120. And confirm that you do get 600. So usually I do this. I increase or decrease by 1, and then I find the gap. I find out how many steps I need to fill that gap, and then I do the entire question in 3 steps. So the number of ducks is 60. Li Mei bought 48 postage stamps. Each stamp costs either 50 cents or 65 cents. Oh dear, we've got cents and dollars. So convert this to dollars. All right. So first thing I do is to write this down, 50 cents, 65 cents, a total of 48. So I'm going to guess 20 and 28. So list this down, 2,700 cents here. Now I've got too much money here. What does that mean? I will decrease. What does that mean? I've got to decrease the number of 65-cent coins. And if you recall from the previous question, I like to decrease by 1, increase by 1. Okay, so what I get is 21, 27, 2,805. Notice that's decreasing by 1 coin here reduces the total by 15 cents. But I'm still not at my target. I want to get to 2700. So what I do is to find the gap. Okay, the gap between this is 105. But I want to know how many 15s are there in this gap. Because 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, right? I don't want to go through that long process. I realize that that's 7 15s. So if I decrease by 15 7 times, I should increase by 1 7 times, which means increase by 7. So this is what I mean again by completing the question with 3 steps. Okay, and there you go. How many 50-cent stamps did she buy? That would be 28 right here. There are 50 3-legged chairs, 4 and 4-legged chairs. So a total of 50, 178 legs. Okay, same thing. Let's do this. We've got 3-legged chairs, 4-legged chairs, total of 50. Let's guess 30 and 20. Too few chairs. We want more. So I'm going to increase the 4-legged chairs by 1 and decrease those 3-legged chairs by 1. And I realized that the total increased by 1. So when I increase by 1, I have to decrease this by 1. Now from 171 to 178, how many 1s is that? 7. So if I do this 1 time, I decrease this by 1 time. If I add by 7, I have to decrease by 7. And what do you know? The 3-legged chairs is 22. The price of tickets in a concert is shown below. Adults ticket 25, child ticket 11. A total of 85 people paid this amount. Okay, how many children attended the concert? So out comes the table, an adult ticket, a child ticket, and the total must be 1355. Let's guess 50 and 35 for a total of 85. And we realize that's too much. So let's modify by 1, shall we? Too much money. Let's decrease adult tickets by 1. Increase child tickets by 1. And what do you know? The total reduced by 14. So when I minus 1, it's minus 14. Now this is a gap right here, right? 1621 to 1355. Okay, first, what is that gap? The gap is 266. Right. How many 14s are there? So when you ask how many 14s in 266, you're going to take 266 divided by 14, yes? So that's 19 steps here. So when I complete 19 steps here, I have to do 19 steps here as well, minus 19. So what that tells me is I've got 55 child tickets from here. Minus 19 plus 19. And there you go. There were 60 children at a carnival. Each boy received 3, each girl received 5. Let's draw up the table. Each boy received 3, each girl received 5. The total is 2, 2, 6. Right, so 60 children, let's guess 30, 30 even each, and realize that, oh my goodness, there are too many balloons. So let's reduce the number of girls by 1, increase number of boys by 1, and the total reduction is 2. So when I make this adjustment here of minus 1, the total got reduced by 2. Right, for 238 to 226, the gap here is going to be 12. Right, so how many steps of 2 are there in this 12? That's 6. So if I'm going to do this 6 times, I have to minus 1 6 times, which is minus 6. How many boys were there? That's 31 plus 6, 37. During a donation drive, this amount of money was collected by 80 students. Okay, let's drop the table. Each girl donated 120, each boy 105, total 9210. Let's make a guess. Okay, 40, 40 even. Now that's too little money, so we need to increase the number of girls. So let's add 1 and minus 1, and the total increased by 15. But I want to get to a target of 9210, yeah? So let's find the gap, shall we? 9210 minus 9015, the gap is 195. Now since each step is 15, going to increase by 15. How many 15s are there in this 195? How many 15s in 195? That's 13, which means if I do this 13 times, I have to add 1 13 times. So the number of girls therefore will be 41 plus 15. Sorry, the total girls will be 41 plus 13, which is 54. Mrs. Mo gave some tarts to 10 children. Each girl received this, each boy received this. Now, this is slightly different. They are not telling you the total, right? They said 5 more to girls than to boys. So the table looks slightly different now. Okay, so each girl 2, each boy 3. The part that you have to check is not the total now. It's basically making sure that there are 5 more to the girls. So total of 10 children, yeah? So I'm going to guess even, 5, 5. Now, the girls here in fact have fewer tarts, so that's definitely not correct. Here, they have an even number of tarts, but it's still not correct. Let's add one more. So I've got 14 here and 9. And if you check, hey, that's a difference of 5 right there. 5 more to the girls. Therefore, the number of girls is 7. So this is guessing and checking. Mr. Sim baked 84 strawberry cakes and chocolate cakes all together. Alright, so this is the cost for each, alright, and the total of 554. So the diagram looks pretty familiar by now. Let's make a guess. Total of 84. Let's guess 40 and 44. So the total results in 592. That's too much money. So we're going to reduce the number of chocolate cakes by 1. Increase strawberry cakes by 1. Okay, now that's 590. So this increase of 1 resulted in a decrease of 2. Cool. I need to get from 590 to 554 though. So what's the difference? The difference is 590 minus 554. That's 36. So how many 2's are there in 36? That's 18. So I'm going to do this 18 times, minus 2, 18 times. So I've got a plus 1, 18 times. So I'm going to add 18 here. And what's the number of chocolate cakes baked? That would be 43 minus 18, giving us 25. There are an equal number of vans and motorcycles, so 4 wheels and 2 wheels, and no other vehicles, so only vans and motorcycles. The total number of wheels is 1500, so the table looks like this. Let's guess a total of, equal number. That's the clue here. So make a guess, 200, 200. I get 1200, that's too few wheels, I need more. So let's increase by 1, but in this case, both have to increase by 1 because recall that the equal number of van and motorcycles have to be maintained, right? So we've got a total of 1206, I mean. So this increase of 1 led to an increase of 6 here. Right, I need to get from here to 1500 though. So I'm going to ask myself, what's the gap here? That's 294. 1500 minus 1206. The gap is 294. Now, how many 6 do we need to get there? Right? How many 6 in 294? That's 49. So if I do this 49 times, I will add 1 49 times as well from here. So I'm going to add 49 and add 49. How many vehicles are there? Which means I want the total vans and motorcycles, right? So that will be 250 times 2. That's 500 for the answer. Pauline had a total of 7 notes. There were $5 notes and some $10 notes. What would be the smallest and largest possible amounts of money she had in her purse? Well, the smallest amount of money would be the largest number of $5 notes. This one with the smaller value, yeah? And some were $1 notes. Okay, so let's have it be the minimum. That's 1. Total of 7. Well, that would be $40. Largest possible would be the most number of $10 notes and at least one $5 note. That would be 65. And breaking news, a bicycle has 2 wheels and a tricycle has 3 wheels. There are a total of 32 wheels for 12 of these 2 groups. Okay, so let's have that table up again. We're looking for a total of 32 wheels and you can guess, let's say a total of 12 of them, right? So 7 and 5, that's too few wheels. So let's increase the number of tricycles by 1. That's too few still. Increase by 1 again. Increase by 1 again. And eventually you get to 32. Guess and check. How many bicycles and tricycles? That's 4 of the bicycles, 8 of the tricycles. On a farm, it's not in a farm, it's on a farm. There are some pigs and ducks. So 4-legged, 2-legged. Total of 130 eyes. Hang on. Isn't that a fancy way of telling you there were 130 animals? No. Each animal had 2 eyes. So the number of animals is actually 130 divided by 2. That's 65 animals altogether. Okay, so we can start with 40 and 25, making sure that the total is 160 in terms of legs. And we get too many legs. Let's reduce the number of pigs by 1, increase the number of ducks by 1. We get 208. So when I decrease by 1 here, I get a decrease of 2. So what's the gap to fill here? I want to go from 208 to 160. So the gap is 48 wide. How many 2's is that? because I'm going to go from 2 to 2 to 2 to 2. That's 24 twos. So when I decrease this 24 times, I have to decrease this 24 times as well. So how many ducks were there? Right, that would be 50 right here. Mr. Lim makes food deliveries. When the order is delivered on time, he would be paid $12. When it's late, he would only be paid $6, half the amount. On Monday, he made 15 deliveries and was paid this amount of money. Okay, so let's make a table here. On time, 12 each. Late, 6 each. Total being 144. So a total of 15 deliveries. Let's assume he delivered most of them on time, so 10 and 5. He collected 150. No, too much. So let's reduce the number of, let's increase the number of late deliveries by 1, decrease by 1, and what do you know? We got 144. Lucky guess this time. So the answer is, on time, that will be 9 deliveries. At a company event, 20 employees were allowed to bring along 1 or 2 guests per person. There were a total of 53 people at the event. Can you imagine? Brought 1? Is that 1? No, that's 2 people. Employee plus 1. Brought 2 guests. Means employee plus 2. So it's a bit tricky here. The total has to be 53. And because there were 20 employees, so let's guess 10, 10. Why? Because this here is 1 employee. Let's have 10 of them. This group here is 1 employee each. 1 employee and 2 guests. So let's have 10 here. And we have 50 here in total, too few. So let's increase this by 1. Decrease this by 1. We get 51. Now I realize that this increase by 1 is going to get me to 53 really quickly. So let's just keep going. Increase by 1, increase by 1, and there you go. So employees with 2 guests, that would be 13 of them. There's a total of 43 bicycles, 2 wheels each, and tricycles, 3 wheels each. Let's make sure the total is 111. Okay, let's start off with 43. Let's see, 20 and 23, that's 109. Oh my goodness, that's pretty close, isn't it? So just keep going. That's too few wheels. Let's add more. Just add 1, 110, add 1, 111. And the answer is 25. Brian had some bags of sweets and some packets of chocolates. So a bag contains 9 sweets and each packet 4 chocolates. So let's draw up a table here. Sweets, 9 each. Chocolates, 4 each. Now, this is no longer talking about the total, right? So he had 43 more chocolates than sweets. So that's 43 more C's. And let's guess, shall we? So the total is 40 bags and sweets. So let's guess 10 and 30 here. And that's 10 times 9, that's 90. 30 times 4, that's 120. What's the difference here? That's 30 more chocolates. No, that's not what we want. We only want 43 more chocolates. So we need more chocolates then. Let's increase by 1 packet. So that's 120 plus another 4. And decrease by 1, so that's 90 minus 9. And the difference here is 43 more chocolates than sweets. So the answer is therefore 9 bags of sweets right here. 9 bags. The mass of a ceramic vase is 2.5 kilograms. Steel vase, this amount. We've got a total of 20 of these objects and the total mass is 58.4. So let's draw up the table with the relevant details here. Total of 20, so let's guess 10 and 10. We've got 62, that's too much. So we're working with decimals here, right? So that's too much. Let's decrease by 1 for the heavier object. Increase by 1 for the lighter object. We get 60.8. If you take the difference, you realize that, okay, we are decreasing by 1.2. So decrease by another, and it's quite close to 58.8. So let's decrease again, 1.2, decrease again, 1.2, and there you go. We have our answer of 13. So this is quite close to 58.4. So let's decrease again, 1.2, decrease by 1.2, and we get the number of ceramic vases to be 13. What percentage are steel vases? So we've got 7 here, the total being 20. So let's have that as the percentage. 7 out of 20 times 100%, that will be 35%. 40 pupils shared a certain number of pencils. Each girl receives 6, each boy receives 7. So here we're looking for the difference again. 72 more for the boys. So let's take a look here. We've got boys having 72 more, the total being 40, which means let's guess 15 and 25. Okay. So the difference between these two numbers is 85, quite close. 85, quite close to 72. So not too much, right? So let's decrease the number of boys by 1, increase number of girls by 1. And what do you know? The difference is 72. How many boys were there? And how many girls were there? 24 and 16. The table shows the charges here. Mr. and Mrs. Ho, that's 2 adults, went to the zoo with 4 children. How much money did he pay in all? Well, this is a simple calculation right there. It's just going to be 2 adults and 4 children. How much money is that? 2 times 20, 4 times 17, that's 108. A group of children and adults paid a total of 770. There were 40 people in all, so this is where the guessing and checking comes in. Children 17 each, adults 20 each, total 770. Total of 40 people, so let's have 30 and 10. That's 710, not enough money. Let's increase the number of adults by 1. We get 713. So each step, you're going to add 3 in total. So how many 3s will we need from 713 to 770? That's 57 divided by 3. That's 19 3s. Pardon me over here, this is supposed to be 19 times 3. Okay, so there we got to do this 19 times as well. So the answer is therefore 10 children in all. Mr. Tan paid $5 for each pot delivered unbroken. He was paid $2 for each broken flower pot. So he delivered a total of 305 and was paid this. So unbroken, 5 each. Broken, 2 each. We're looking for 1363. So total of 305. Let's guess a nice number here. 200 and 105. That's too little money. So let's increase the unbroken ones by 1. Decrease the broken ones by 1. That's an increase of $3. So how many 3s do we need to get from here to here? So the gap here is 150. How many 3s is that? 50. So I do this 50 times. I have to increase by 1, 50 times as well. So that's 251. But we are looking for unbroken ones. So the answer therefore is 251 right here. There were some motorcycles and cars, 2 wheels, 4 wheels each. So let's draw up the very familiar table by now. 2 each, 4 each, and a total of 158 wheels. So for 56 vehicles, let's guess 29 and 27. We get too many wheels. So let's decrease the number of cars by 1 because we have too many wheels. So cars have more wheels. Let's decrease by 1. Increase this by 1, making sure the total is still 56. Now we realize that the total has decreased by 2 when I increase motorcycles by 1. It's pretty close. Do it again, you get 162. Do it again, 160. Do it again, 158. So how many times do you have to do it again? That's 3 times. Or you can do this subtraction, go through this process, and you realize you have to do it 3 times, which means you have to increase 1 by 3 times. And therefore the number of cars is 23. Gail bought 30 mugs and keychains altogether. She was given a discount of $3 per mug, that's 300 cents, and 50 cents per keychain. If she paid $60 less in all, now this is phrased in a slightly confusing way, but it's basically telling you that the total discount was 6,000 cents. So this is a discount of 300 cents each, discount of 50 cents each, total discount 6,000 cents. How many more mugs than keychains? So this right here requires special attention as well. So first, let's convert $60. Oh, in this case, I worked with dollars. Everything in dollars. So 50 cents, let's convert it to 0.5. Okay, let's go. We've got 30, right? So let's guess 20 and 10. Total discount is $65. Too much. Let's decrease the number of mugs by 1 and increase this. Total discount, $250 less. Okay, do it again. $250 less. So decrease by 1, increase by 1. We get $60 in discount. How many more mugs than keychains? Do not take the sum, okay, or do not take each answer here. We have to find the difference. So the difference between them is 6. In a fishing competition, Janice caught 20 fish. There were only red and blue fish in the pond. 8 for each red, 3 for each blue. Alright, so the table should go like this. 8 for each red, 3 for each blue, total points 150. Let's make a guess. So we've got 20 fish, 15 and 5. Total points 135. Not enough points. Let's increase the number of red fish by 1. Decrease this by 1. So total increase in points is 5. See? Step up 5. Okay, do it again, 145. Do it again, 150. So we are pretty close from our first guess. So we can simply just add 5. Add 5, add 5, and we get to our desired number. How many red fish? That would be 18. Total 75 cars and motorcycles. Alright, so 4 each, 2 wheels. Yep, okay. 212 wheels all together. Okay, so Diagram goes like this, 2 each for motorcycles, 4 each for cars. Total of 75. Let's guess 50 here and 25 here. Oh, not enough wheels, but we are really close. Okay, decrease the number of motorcycles, increase the number of cars by 1, and we get 202. So from 202, I want to get to 212. That's an increase of 10. How many 2's is that? That's 5. So I need to add 2 5 times, which means I need to minus 1 5 times. So that would be 44. Right, how many motorcycles? The answer is 44. And now level 2 questions. A zoo has several ostriches, 2 legs each, and giraffes, 4 legs each. They have 20 pairs of eyes. That's another way of saying that there are 20 animals. So 20 animals here and 66 legs. So the only thing that's slightly more difficult here is this phrasing right here that's supposed to confuse you. But 20 pairs of eyes basically means 20 animals. The rest is pretty standard by now. You should know this. Okay, let's get to 66 from here. So add 2, add 2, add 2, 2 more times, and we get to 66. How many ostriches and giraffes? That would be 7 ostriches and 13 giraffes. Diane had 20 coins. Some were 50 cents, some were 20 cents. Okay, the difference is $4.40. So what you definitely should do is to work with the same units. Do not work with dollars and cents. Yeah. So in this case, everything should be in cents. Make sure that the difference is 440. So total of 20. Let's guess 10 and 10. That's 300 in terms of the difference. 500 minus 200. So that's 300. Not good enough, right? We need to increase. So let's increase by 1, decrease by 1. The difference is now 370. Getting a lot closer now. Let's do it again. Increase by 1, decrease by 1. That's 440. How many 50-cent coins are there? 12. Sally has some coins in the coin bank. There are twice as many 50-cent coins as 20-cent coins. So we have to maintain a ratio of 2:1. Yeah. So this must be twice. So whatever number we guess, I'll start off with 20-cent coins, and then I just need to multiply that by 2. So if I start off with 50, this has to be 100. Okay, then from there, make sure that the total value is 9,600 cents. So in this case, that's too much. So I'm going to increase by 1. Remember, start off with the 20-cent coins, okay? Increase by 1, but now multiply this by 2. So that's 102 50-cent coins. So now we have added another 120 cents. Okay, still not enough. Let's do this again. Add 1, 52, times 2, 104. Now another 120. Do you notice a pattern here? How many 120s do I need from here to here? Well, so the first step is I'm going to take 9600 minus this. That's 3360. The gap here is 3360. How many 120s is that? That's 28. So if I'm going to add 120 28 times, I'm going to add 1 28 times. So that would be 80. And of course, if you multiply that by 2, the number of 50-cent coins will actually be 160. Joanne had a total of 36 wires and strings. Each one is this. Okay, each one is this. Total is, okay, the difference is 25 cm. Not just that, they want the difference in number of wires and strings at the end. So here we go. We've got 4 and 3 here. The difference here being, let's guess 20 and 16. The difference here is 32. That's too much. So let's decrease this by 1, the longer length. All right, we get 25. And exactly what we want here. But we want the difference between wires and strings. So that's 19 minus 17, giving us 2 for the answer. Hui Hui paid $1,000 for 30 tickets. There were tickets of each type here. And she bought 3 times as many $30 and $20 as $20 tickets. Okay, so here is how the table should look like. Whatever this is, I've got the multiply a number by 3 for $30 tickets. Right, and then we've got another category, $45 tickets. So I'm going to start with the number of $20 tickets first. So let's say this is 2. I have to write 6 over here. Now, if the total is 30, doesn't that mean I have to take 30 minus 8? So the number of $45 tickets would be 22. From here, make your calculation. That's too much money. So I'm gonna increase the number of the cheap tickets by 1 or 2, or up to you, right? So in this case, I chose 5, which means I have to multiply this by 3, giving us 15. Then I've got to take 30 minus 20. So that's 10 $45 tickets. And if you do the calculations, you get exactly $1,000. So the process here starts with $20 tickets. Multiply by 3, you get the number of $30 tickets. Take a total of 30 minus these two, you get the $45 tickets. And then just check that your cost is $1,000. So in this case, how many $45 tickets are there? It's 10. How many $30 tickets? It's 15. Well, Tom has 430 $2 and $5 notes. Now that's quite unclear, right? I don't know each, but I know the total is 430. In this case, Jerry had 336 $2 notes and 220 $5 notes. I can actually calculate the amount of money Jerry has. And then this tells me that I can find the amount of money Tom has. So let's find out Jerry's sum of money, shall we? That's 336 $2 notes. That's 220 $5 notes. That's a total of this amount. Since Jerry had more, Tom had less. So Tom's money would be 1772 minus 396. That's 1376, which is the answer for part A. Tom's money is 1376 in total. Now, with this total, we can now start guessing the number of $2 and $5 notes using the standard steps that we have already become familiar with. So let's guess 200 and 230. Why? The sum must be 430, right? So from here, make sure that we get 1376. So that's too much. Let's decrease by 1 for the $5 notes. Increase by 1 here. That's 1547. So that's a reduction of 3. So let's find the gap, shall we? 1547, I want to get to 1376. So that's 171. How many 3's is that? 57. Okay, therefore, I'm going to do it 57 times. Okay, which means I have to add 57 here, subtract 57 here, which means the $2 notes, okay, has to be 258. There are 4 consecutive whole numbers. The idea of consecutive just means one after another with no break. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 20, 21, 22, right? So the product of the multiply, we're going to multiply here. The product of the smallest and the largest number is 180. Let's find the sum of the 4 numbers. The first step is I'm going to write the idea down that the first number is 1 unit. The next number, being consecutive, is 1u plus 1. Next number, 1u plus 2, 1u plus 3. So these are the 4 numbers. Now we are told now that the product is 180. So let's do that. So let's guess this is 10. The largest is therefore 10 plus 3. That's 13. The product is not 180 though. Let's try again. So that's too small, right? Let's have a larger number, 11. So what's 11 plus 3, the largest number? That's 14. Multiply them together, we get 154. Still too little. Let's increase by another one. So the largest number is 12 plus 3, that's 15. Multiply them together, hey, that's 180. Find the sum of the 4 numbers. We have just established that 1 unit is 12. So what's the sum of the 4 numbers? It's going to be 12. Consecutive numbers means 12, 13, 14, 15. Sum meaning add them all up, we get 54 for the answer. There are 36 pupils in each class. A boy is given 3, each girl is given 5, more than each boy. So let's find out the number given to each girl, shall we? That's 3 plus 5, that's 8. So each boy gets 3, each girl gets 8. Now the difference is going to be 46, more than the total of the boys. So the difference must be 46. Well, let's start guessing. The total number of students is 36, so I'm going to start with 20 and 16. That's 68 being the difference. That's too much. So let's reduce the number of girls by 1 and increase the number of boys by 1. Now we've got a smaller difference here, 57. Okay, so let's do it again. Let's decrease by 1, increase by 1, and what do you know? We get a difference of 46. How many girls are there in the class? The answer is 14. Halim bought a total of 332 notebooks and pens, okay, $4 each. Now this is the tricky part here. 3 notebooks cost $2. If he spent a total of 498 altogether, okay. So the diagram looks like this with, what do I mean by start here? Okay, look, notebooks. I'm going to start with 270. Why? Because I'm looking for notebooks that are in multiples of 3. So 270 is a nice multiple of 3. How many groups of 3 is that? That's 90 groups of 3, each being $2. Okay, so I'll start here, 270. Now, because the total is 332 objects, so 332 minus this, you get a number of pens. So from here, that is 90 groups of 3, and each group of 3 costs $2. That's 180. add the cost of the pence, you get 428. So that's too little in total. So I need more, right? So I need more pence here. So I'm going to decrease this by a group of 3. So minus 3. Take 332 minus this, you get the number of pence. Okay, and then you're going to find the cost of the pence. So 267. How many groups of 3 is that? That's 89. Anyway, I just reduce this by a group of 3. So instead of 90 groups of 3, it's 89 groups of 3. Now the cost here is 438. So this should be a minus 10, this should be a plus 10, pardon me. So it's getting closer now. 438 is closer to 498 now. Okay, let's do this a few more times. Okay, notice from 438, how do you get to 498? That's 60, isn't it? How many tens is that? 6 of them. So I'm going to add, not subtract, add 10 6 times. So I should do this 6 times as well. Okay, so that's actually minus 18. So I'm going to add 18 here as well. Okay, how many notebooks did he buy? So that's actually 249 notebooks. Pens and pencils were sold in packets of 2 pens and packets of 3 pencils respectively. Alright, each packet of pens, that's 2 each, at $5 each. Now, what you can do is to say each pen is going to be 5 divided by 2. $5 divided by 2 pens, that's 250 each. Okay, 90 cents for 3 pencils, that's 30 cents each. This simplifies the problem. With each pen being 250 and each pencil being 30 cents, I'm going to look out for a total cost of 134.4. Okay, now with a total of 96 objects here, let's guess 50 and 46, shall we? So this is too much. Let's decrease the number of pens by 1. All right, we get this slightly closer now. Do it again, you get exactly this. Okay, and this makes sense because it's an even number, so the pens can be divided into groups of 2. And this makes sense because it is a multiple of 3, which means you can divide it into packets of 3. So how many pencils did she buy? Not how many packets. This is a tricky question. Not how many packets of pencils, it's how many pencils. We have exactly 48 here. A total of 20 boys and girls, we don't know how many boys and girls, right? Sold tickets for the show. Each ticket was $5. Each boy sold 5, each girl sold 3. Okay, so we can actually find the number of sales per boy, right? So 5 tickets for per boy, that's 5 times 5. That's $25 coming in from each boy. Anyway, if the amount collected by, so the difference in collection was $20. Now, our setup should be like this. The sales per boy, we need to find is 25. Sales per girl, 15. So our table looks like so. And the difference has to be $20 more from the boys. Alright, so total 20 boys and girls. So let's guess 10. Then the difference is more from boys, yes, but the difference is 100. That's way too much. Okay, so let's decrease the number of boys by 1. Increase number of girls by 1. Now it's slightly closer. That's a reduction of 40, right? And if I reduce by 40 again, I would get what I want. So how many girls were there in the group? The answer is 12. How many tickets were sold altogether? Alright, now don't forget, this is 8 boys, right? But that's 5 tickets each. 5 tickets each. So how many tickets are we talking about? 8 times 5. This is 12 girls selling 3 tickets each. How many tickets is that? That's 12 times 3, 36. So the sum of the tickets must be 76 here. Janice bought a total of 28 pens and erasers. She paid $36 altogether. Sounds pretty normal so far. The pen cost $2 each, and a set of 3 erasers cost $1. So this part here is where it's slightly different. How many erasers did Janice buy? So this part here, a set of 3 cost $1. So $1 doesn't represent 1 eraser, yeah? Let's go. The first thing I do is to guess the number of erasers in multiples of 3. Because we are buying in multiples of 3. We won't be buying 2 erasers or 5 erasers. For my first guess, I shall start with 3. Now, what's the cost of that? $1. Knowing that the total number of objects is 28, right? I shall take the difference and say that is my number of pens. Knowing that I've got 25 pens in this case, having 3 erasers, then at $2 each, that would be $50 in value. Add them up, you get $51 and check whether it is the 36 that we are supposed to get. And in this case, no. So go on then from 3 to 6 to 9 to 12. 6 erasers, 2 groups of 3, that means $2 of value. Okay, with 6 erasers, 28 minus 6, that would be 22 pence. each costing $2, that will be $44, add them up. So as you get closer and closer to 36 and eventually you get there, then how many erasers were bought? That would be 12. Siti started a savings plan by putting a coin in a money box every day. So 1 coin a day. Each coin is either a 20-cent coin or 50-cent coin. Her mother also put in a dollar coin in the box every 5 days. Okay, 5 days, 1, 10 days, second coin, 15 days, third coin. The total value of the coins after 68 days, Siti's coin and her mother's coins included, 68 days is $34.70. How many coins were there all together? Okay, knowing that her mother put in a dollar coin every 5 days and 68 days went by, we can actually find out the number of $1 coins from the mother. How many groups of 5 in 68? On top of that, that's 1 coin a day from Siti for the 68 days. So it will be 68 from Siti plus whatever the number of mother's $1 coin is. So let's find that out. The total from mother would be 68 divided by 5. That's 13 groups of 5, meaning 13 $1 coins for the mother in total. Therefore, the total number of coins must be 13 plus the 68 from Siti, 1 a day, right, giving us 81 for the answer. Then we begin the process of guessing and checking. Now, we are going to find out 20-cent coins, 50-cent coins. Before that though, the total value, we will subtract $13 because that's from the mother. We don't want that. We want to find out how much from Siti only. That will be 34.70 minus 13, that's 21.70, which is 2170 cents. And since we know that a total of 68 coins were from Siti, 1 a day, okay, then we must make sure the total adds up to 68. From then on, that's pretty simple, just guess and check. And for the answer part B, 20-cent coins, that would be 41 for the answer. In semester 1, Kelly earned a total of 150 silver and gold stars. Well, how many silvers? Don't know. How many golds? Don't know. But total, 150. Ali earned 55 silvers and 15 golds. Each silver was worth 3, each gold was worth 5. So right off the bat, we can find out the number of points for Ali. 55 silvers, that will be 55 times 3. 15 golds, that will be 15 times 5. Okay, Kelly's got 390 more points than him. So let's find Ali's points and then Kelly's points, shall we? So 55 silvers, 3 each, and 15 golds, 5 points each, giving Ali 240 points. And since Kelly's got 390 more than this, Kelly's score would be 240 plus 390, that will be 630 points. So now that we know Kelly's points is a total of 630, let's guess the number of silver and gold stars she had. So bearing in mind the total is 150 and we are looking for 630. Okay, so first guess, total of 550, that's too few points. So we need to increase the number of golds by 1 and decrease the number of silvers by 1, giving us 552. So that's an increase of 2 points in total. So from 552, we want to get to 630. What's the difference? That's 78. So each step is 2 points. So a total of 78 points would require 39 steps because each step carries 2 points. 39 steps would carry 78 points, which is what we want. So if we increase by 1, okay, that increased by 2. So if I do this 39 times, I have to add 39 to this and subtract 39 from this. And the number of silver stars, as we know, is 60. And now level 3 questions. Molly used $50, $5 and $2 notes to pay for a diamond ring. The cost of the diamond ring was 1119 and Molly paid the cashier with 45 notes. How many of each type did the cashier receive? What makes this a level 3 question though? Why do I say start here with the $2 notes? If you look at the total, that's 1119. But we've got a certain number of $5 notes, a multiple of 5 in value, and a number of $50 notes, that's another multiple of 5 in value. So why is it that the total is not a multiple of 5? It must be due to the number of $2 notes here. Okay, so this 9, think of it as being made up of 5 plus 4, a multiple of 5 plus 4. Where did this 4 come from? It must have come from 2 $2 notes. And that's why I think we should start here with $2 notes. And I'm going to guess 2 of them. That gives us a value of 4. Since I've got 2 notes covered and the total is 45, I have to make up a total of 43 then. So I take 30 and 13 and make a guess. That is 1569. The good news is the last digit is 9. That's cool. But we have too much money here. So let's reduce the number of $50 notes while keeping the number of $2 notes the same. So this is a level 3 because it's very hard to adjust for 3 different types. So I chose to keep the number of $2 notes the same. And in fact, we have to, because that 9 has to be made out of a 5 and a 4, which is two $2 notes. So the only adjustment here, therefore, is the number of $50 and $5 notes. So I decided to decrease by 2, increase by 2, giving me 1479. Still too many. So keep on going and reducing the number of $50 notes until you arrive at 1119. And therefore, the answer is 20 $50 notes, 23 $5 notes, and 2 $2 notes. At the car park, there was a total of this number of vehicles. The number of lorries was 353 less than the number of vans, but the number of lorries was 562 more than the total number of C's and M's, cars and motorcycles. Can you see why this is a level 3 question? You actually should draw a model to better understand what's happening here. Lorries 353 less than vans. That's easy to draw, isn't it? So just draw a long bar for lorries, and if lorries 353 less than vans, that means vans 353 more than lorries. So I'm going to draw a longer bar here with 353 longer than the number of lorries. So these are the two bars I first drew. Then consider the next part of the sentence here. But the number of lorries, don't forget, you see the word but here? We are still talking about lorries, by the way. Lorries 353 less than vans. Lorries 562 more. Okay, so whatever this bar is representing the number of lorries is 562 more than the number of C's and M's. So number of C's and M's is actually shorter by 562. Then consider that the total is 2617, which means we can find out 1 unit here. So that's what we're going to do. We'll take 2617, all right, is equal to 3 units plus 2 562s and 1 353. Add them up together, form an equation like that. Subtract 1477 divided by 3, you get 1 unit being 380. In other words, we have 380 total for motorcycles and cars. From here, it becomes a pretty standard guess and check question. That will be 380 number of M cycles and cars with a total of 1150 wheels. M cycles 2 each, cars 4 each. So start guessing and checking all the way, the usual method, and arrive at the answer for 195 cars. So for this section, we're covering questions involving negatives. What do I mean? In a quiz, there was a total of 100 questions. For every correct one, 4 were awarded, 2 were deducted for a wrong answer though. So this is what I mean by containing negatives. Jane scored a total of 232 marks. Now this may not look like a guess and check question, but it can be solved that way. So correct answer 4, wrong answer -2. Total 100 questions. So let's start with guessing 70 and 30, shall we? Assuming majority were correct. So 70, given 4 marks each, that's 280. But 30 times 2 is 60, isn't it? Except this is a subtraction of 60. So we're going to take 280 minus 60, that's 220. So we're looking for more marks than that, which means this person actually got more correct answers. So let's add 1 for the number of correct answers and subtract 1 for the number of wrong answers. So you get 1 more correct answer, your total adds, okay, gets an additional 4 points. All right, so you get less, you get -2. As for marks deducted, you get 2 fewer marks deducted. So instead of -60, it's -58. Carry out the subtraction and it's 226, slightly closer to 232. And you can keep going until you eventually arrive at 232 for the total. And therefore, the number of incorrect answers is 28. In a game, you will score 200 if you win. You have 150 deducted if you lose. Muthu played 10 games and scored this number of points. How many games did he lose? So, game won plus 200, a game lost minus 150, 10 games, so let's guess 6 and 4. Okay, which means 6 times 200, that's a gain of 1,200. 4 times 150, that's 600, but we're deducting it, so it's a negative 600. Compute this and you get 600 points. Too few. That means he won more games than that. So I'm going to add 1 more game won, subtract 1 game lost. And we get 950. How many games did he lose? The answer therefore is 3. Lakshmi attempted all the 70 questions in an online game and scored this number of points. Okay, 5 marks for each correct, 2 marks deducted for each wrong answer. How many did he get correct? So here we're going to drop the table. Correct plus 5, wrong minus 2. Total questions 70, so I'm going to guess 40 and 30. The total is 140, that's too few marks, right? We're going to increase the number of correct answers by 1 and decrease the number of wrong answers by 1. We get 205, negative 58, we get 147. So completing one step here gains 7 for the total. So how many 7s do we need to get to 224? From 147 to 224, how many 7s is that? So we're going to take 147 minus 2, sorry. We're going to take 224 minus 147, that's 77. How many 7s is that? 11. So I'm going to do this 11 times. So if this is done 11 times, that means this addition of 1 will be done 11 times. That's an addition of 11. So the number of correct answers therefore is 41 plus 11, that would be 52. 20 questions in the science quiz. Every correct one, 6 marks awarded. Every wrong one, 3 marks deducted. So same thing, let's draw up the table. The number of correct answers, 6 marks each. Wrong answers, minus 3. Total 20 questions. So I'm going to guess 12 and 8. 48 marks, too few marks. So let's increase the number of correct answers by 1 and decrease the wrong answers by 1. So we get 57, which is an increase of 9. So every step, we increase the total by 9. So how many 9s do we need to go from 57 to the required 75? Well, that will be 2 steps. You can basically keep going and you will soon arrive at the correct total of 75. The number of correct answers, therefore, is 15. Kelly took part in a quiz in which she had to answer 30 questions. 5 for correct ones, 2 for taken away for the wrong ones. So total 94 marks. The table therefore looks like this again. Correct answer 5 marks, wrong answer minus 2. So total 30 questions. I'm going to guess 20 and 10. The total marks is 80, too few marks. So I'm going to increase by 1 and decrease by 1. Therefore it's 87. So basically, one more step is what we need to get to 94. Number of mistakes made, therefore, is 8. 20 questions, 2 for correct ones, 1 taken away for each wrong answer, 31 points. So the table looks like this. Correct answer plus 2, incorrect minus 1. And total of 20 questions, so let's guess 15 and 5. That's 25 in total, too few points. So I'm going to add 1 and minus 1, that's 28, slightly closer now. That's an increase of 3. So let's do it again. An increase of 3 gets us the total of 31. So I'm going to therefore increase by 1, and the number of correct answers is 17. Anthony attempted a maths quiz, 20 questions, 5 for every correct answer, 2 deducted for every wrong answer. Total marks 65. Okay, so let's drop the table. Plus 5 for every correct, minus 2 for every wrong. 65 is what we are looking for. 20 questions, let's guess 10. So that's 30 marks there. So way more questions correct then, right? Let's add 1 and subtract 1. So each step now, it's a plus 7 for the total. So from 37 to 65, what's that? That's 60. That's 28, isn't it? So how many 7s is that? That's 4. So let's add 4 to 11. That brings us to 15 and confirm that we do get a total of 65. So the number of correct answers will be 15. There were 10 word problems in the maths competition, 5 for every correct answer, 3 deducted for every wrong answer. So 10 word problems, 26 points. So the table looks like so. Let's guess 5, 5. We get a total mark of 10. So let's guess that she got 1 more correct and 1 fewer wrong. So the total now is 18. So that's an increase of 8. And if you do it again, you're just going to get to 26, which is the desired total. So add 1, subtract 1, subtract 1. How many correct answers were there? The answer is 7. Okay, there were a total of 25 questions, plus 4 for every correct, minus 1 for every wrong. Okay, and there were 70 marks in total for all the questions answered. This is how the table looks. Okay, 25 questions, so let's guess 15 correct and 10 wrong. That's 50 marks, too few. So I'm going to add 1 for the number of correct answers and minus 1. We get an increase of 5 though. And you can keep doing this, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, all the way to 70. If you realize that's a total of 15, so that's 3 steps. So we're going to add 3 here. How many questions were wrong? That's 9 minus 3, that will be 6. June had to deliver 100 flower pots. For each unbroken one, that's a successful delivery, that will be plus $5.50. But she will have to pay her company $4, that's minus $4, okay, for every broken flower pot. Okay, at the end of the day, she received this amount of money. How many unbroken ones, the successful deliveries, were there? So let's make a guess here. That's $5.50 for each successful delivery, unbroken one. And for some reason, I wrote late here, but actually this just means broken. Yeah, that would be minus 4. And this is the total we are looking for. So 100 deliveries, so that means 80-20. Let's make a guess here. And that's too small an amount. Let's increase the number of successful deliveries by 1. Okay, and that gives us 369.950. So the question is how much from here to here, which is what we want. The difference is 95. How many 950s is that? Because one step here is an increase of $9.50. So how many 950s are there? That's 10. Therefore, I'm going to increase by 10 and subtract by 10. So the number of unbroken flower pots delivered is 91. Level 2 with deductions here. 20 questions plus 6 for the correct ones, minus 4 for the wrong ones. Okay, each question left blank, 0 were awarded. So now there's a third category. No answers, then carry 0 points. Ben answered all the questions in the quiz. Well, that means he left 0 questions blank. That makes our job slightly easier, doesn't it? We're just going to concern ourselves with the number of wrong and correct answers. So he obtained a score of 0. Oh, so the positive points cancel out the negative points. How many did he answer correctly? So bearing that in mind, notice that I'm not even bothered with the number of blank questions. It's just correct or incorrect. Yeah, there are a total of 20 questions. It has to be, but the number of points are common multiples of 6 and 4. And they have to be the same because that means they cancel out. So let's say I'm looking for 12. Common multiple of 6 and 4, 12. So how many correct answers is that? 2. Getting us 2 times 6, getting us 12. How many 4s are there in 12? That's 3, isn't it? And therefore, we get a 12 minus 12. Total points, 0. Problem though, there are a total of only 5 questions. But we're looking for 20 questions. So let's keep on guessing. So the next one I'm going to guess is going to be 24. So 24, how many 6 is that? 4. 24 is 6 4s. So 24 minus 24, total marks 0. But the number of questions is 10. So that's not what we want. We want a total of 20 questions. Keep going and you realize that, okay, the answer is 8 correct answers, 12 incorrect answers. So 48 minus 48, 0 marks. But 8 plus 12 gives us 20 questions. So part A, how many did he answer correctly? The answer therefore is 8. Ray scored 16 points for the quiz. The number of questions he answered correctly was the same as the number that were incorrect. How many questions did he leave blank? So the system we're going to use right now is we're going to fix the number of correct and wrong answers, right? 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, and so on and so forth. And making sure that the total point is 16. Okay, so we're going to guess 5 and 5 first. So that gives us 30 minus 20. That's 10 points. And by the way, if the number of correct and wrong answers are 10 in total, but the total is 20 questions, that means he left 10 questions blank. And that's 0 points, right? Because 0 for each blank question. Total marks is 10. We're looking for 16 though. So let's fix our number of correct and wrong answers as 6 now. 6 and 6, okay? So we get 36 minus 4. Now, because there are 12 questions here, 8 questions must have been blank. Why? Total number of questions is 20. So here we got 12 marks, not enough though. Okay, carry on. And you realize that with 8 and 8, that's 16 questions. 4 questions were blank. And this is the combination that yields 16 marks in total. So how many questions were left blank? The answer therefore is number 4. And here we have a level 3. Ryan and Bala competed with each other to get from the starting line to the finishing line by playing the scissors, paper, stone game. Each win, okay, allowed the winner to move forward by 3 steps. The loser steps backward by 1. It's kind of like subtraction, isn't it? Ryan played 50 times with Bala and crossed the finishing line first, so Ryan won. There were 94 steps between the start line and the finishing line. How many times did Ryan win the game? Win +3, lose -1. Steps forward, steps backward. Played the game 50 times, so let's guess 30 wins and 20 losses. So with 30 wins, that will be +90 forward, step backward 20 times, so that's 70. But we're looking for 94 to finish the game. So let's increase the win by 1 and decrease this by 1. We get 74. So one step of this is +4. So let's find out 74 to 94. That's 20, isn't it? That's 5 fours. So that's 20. That's 5 fours, which means we're going to do this 5 times. 31 plus 5, that's 36. And that gets us 94 steps. How many times did Ryan win the game? The answer is 36. And this concludes Guess and Check. Hope you ace it, should you face it in the exams. Bye.